guys, welcome to my channel. If you don't know me, I'm Blynn. I make mom content, so if you're interested in that, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll make more videos, putting more videos out each and every week. Without further ado, let's get right into the video. I decided I was gonna come on here and put y'all on with the breastfeeding stuff because we're gonna call this video 5 things I wish I knew before breastfeeding. When I was first pregnant and everybody used to ask me like, are you gonna breastfeed? Are you gonna bottle feed? Which one are you gonna do? I was thinking in my head like, I think I'm just gonna pump. But once the baby got here, I felt in my heart that I was gonna breastfeed. Like, it's just a different connection once your baby actually gets here and you like, yeah, I'm gonna breastfeed. So once I figured out I was gonna breastfeed, there's just a couple things I wish I knew before breastfeeding. That's all I'm gonna say. So if you're interested in that, keep watching. And if y'all see me looking at my phone, I wrote a couple notes down, so yeah. Okay, the first thing I wish I knew before I started breastfeeding was you have to breastfeed on each side. Like, you have to breastfeed on each side every 2 to 3 hours for 10 to 15 minutes. And it might be even more than that because when your baby's like newborn, they feed like every freaking 30 minutes. Like, it's called cluster feeding. So your baby gonna be on your nipple every moment of the day. So that's something I wish I knew before I started breastfeeding, but it's not so bad. The second thing I wish I knew before I started breastfeeding, I always thought that breastfeeding was gonna hurt because, like, a lot of people told me before I started breastfeeding, I couldn't do it, girl. I couldn't do it. Breastfeeding hurt. It hurt me. I couldn't do it. You know, the baby might bite your nipple off or something. I'm like, my nipple might get bit off. Like, if my nipple about to get biting off, I don't want to breastfeed. But little do I know, breastfeeding does not hurt. If breastfeeding is hurting you, that means that the baby is not latching on correctly. In order to breastfeed correctly, the baby has to have more of the nipple in their mouth, or a bit more of the boob in their mouth more than the nipple. The baby should not be on the edge of the nipple. The baby should be like on the full part of the boob. That just shows it's latching more. So if your baby isn't doing that, then you should probably go to a lactician or try to get them to latch on closer, because that helps to not hurt. Like, from day one of me breastfeeding, it didn't hurt me. It didn't hurt because he had a good latch on there. Like, their mouth should be on there like I don't know. Their mouth should be on there like, I don't know how to explain that. The third thing I wish I knew before I started breastfeeding, in order to maintain your breastfeeding supply, you have to pump. And when I say that, I mean you have to pump every 2 to 3 hours. And me personally, I didn't do that because I was just lazy having a baby. Like, having a baby for the first time, I just did not feel like doing nothing. Like, I didn't feel like pumping. I didn't feel like washing the equipment out to pump. So I had to hack around it. Me personally, I like to just do a little I like to express my milk directly into the milk bag. Like, that's the easiest way for me to do it because I don't feel like washing out the equipment. So I'd be over there, shh. Yeah. But if you're gonna do it the right way, you have to pump every 2 to 3 hours, and that helps to increase your milk supply and it helps to maintain it. Also, another thing is, to maintain your milk supply, you need to eat a lot of protein. You need to eat a lot of protein throughout the day. Like, that'll make your milk supply just engorge up. My fourth thing I wish I knew before I started breastfeeding was breastfeeding, it's just a different type of connection with your baby. Like, in my opinion, breastfeeding makes the baby have a different type of bond with their mothers. So when they're breastfeeding, it's just a different type of closeness that they experience with you. And that makes the baby more clingy to you. I know a lot of parents don't like that, but I don't know. I kind of like it. Another thing is, breastfed babies, you really have to make sure you practice good habits with them because they get a little spoiled on you. Like, my baby thinks that he can sleep with my nipple in his mouth. With my nipple in his mouth. So you should practice good habits before they get in the pattern of like doing something, because it's hard to change. My fifth and final thing that I wish I knew before I started breastfeeding was, your boobs are probably gonna sag after. Like, my sister told me this. Like, I'm up here looking like, yeah, I got some big boobs now, and like, they look all good and perky when you got milk filled all in it, but once the milk leaves your boob, they sagging. And that's not something I got a problem with, because I'm like, hey, I got to feed my baby in the process, so it's okay. If you breastfeed your baby, your boobs are most likely gonna sag. Like, there's probably some moms out there that their boobs didn't do that, but I feel like that's just gonna happen if you breastfeed. Me saying all this is not for me to say don't breastfeed. This is just stuff I wish I knew before breastfeed. If I knew all this stuff, I probably would still breastfeed. It's stuff I wish I knew. But some stuff you don't know until you actually do it. Breastfeeding is actually a really good experience for me. Like, I love breastfeeding. Just the bond that you create with your child, I would not trade that for the world. If I have another kid, I'm definitely gonna breastfeed. Like, I don't care how saggy my boobs get, I'm definitely gonna breastfeed again. Like, it's just something about it. And I know some moms out there, they can't breastfeed because it's just the circumstances, or it's like they're not able to produce milk. But this is for the moms out there that are planning on breastfeeding and can do it. All right, y'all, my son just woke up, so he gonna be in this part of the video. I have an extra thing I wish I knew before I started breastfeeding, and that is, when you're breastfeeding, you lose weight. I did not know this at all until I started losing weight. Like, that's why when people breastfeed, they're able to get down to the weight they were before they started. They're able to get down to the weight they were before they even was pregnant, because when you're breastfeeding, you're losing like 1-2 pounds a day. So while you're breastfeeding, you have to eat way more than what you used to eat, or you're gonna lose weight. Like me, I freaking am losing like so much weight, and I have to learn how to get up and cook myself something to eat so I don't lose weight. Like, but that's helping me because I'm super lazy. Go, Max, go. That's helping me because I'm super lazy and I don't be feeling like doing stuff. But breastfeeding basically teaches you discipline, for real. If you're gonna breastfeed, you have to balance your meals each out the day and make sure you're eating like a certain amount of protein, certain amount of calories each day in order to maintain your weight. But in my case, breastfeeding, it really made my weight go down further than what I was before I was pregnant. Alright guys, that's all that I have for you. If you like this video, make sure you leave a comment and like the video, subscribe to my channel, and I'm gonna see y'all in the next video.